Oh, he got some distance on that one, didn't he? So, hey, after the most painful way in the world that we could wait for baseball season to return, it's finally here. Here's a little bit of a recap. But hey, we're getting baseball, right? So, following up with my annual tradition, my personal annual tradition, I sit down and I watch some of my favorite baseball movies before the beginning of every season. So this year, while you're making quarantine movie lists or just trying to socially distance by keeping yourself away from everybody else, here's a couple of the movies that I watch every year right before baseball season. So I'm going to share them with you. Maybe you can add them to your list, check them out, see what you think. I think these are some of the best ones and some of the ones that I enjoy the most. Today, we're going to talk about the movie 61.
This is a fantastic story, fellas. Two Yankees playing in the house that Ruth built, both going after his record. It's great for baseball. Holy cow!
There it goes! Back to the wall! It's gone!
Maris comes over from Kansas City, first year with the team. He beats Mickey out for the MVP. You're telling me Mantle wouldn't be pissed off that Maris doesn't have something to prove? How about the home run record? You think he got a shot at the bait?
I think if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Mickey.
It's pretty amazing the guy can play at all, considering how much pain he's in.
Maybe if he took better care of himself, he wouldn't be injured so much.
It's a tough town not to have fun in.
You can write what you want, Sam. The fans love this guy. They love him.
How come Maris never smiles? He's having the season of his life, and he looks like a zombie out there.
Number 7, Mickey Mantle. It says 80% of the fans are rooting for Mickey.
Well, I guess that seems right, yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know, maybe I'm not a New York kind of guy, Sam. I'm just some dumb redneck from North Dakota.
As for the M&M boys, I'm told there's a feud growing between
Are we feuding? Yeah, I guess so. It's on TV. Well, you then.
Sources say.
Yours.
61. It's a movie directed by Billy Crystal, and it aired on HBO around 2000, somewhere around that time frame, just after Mark McGwire happened to break the record that Roger Maris held for such a long time at 61 home runs in a single season. There was a great documentary that ESPN did called Long Gone Summer, which takes a look at the year that Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa broke Roger Maris's record. It is fantastic. It's a lot of fun, and it kind of got me in the spirit of thinking of this movie again. This is a really good one because it takes a little bit of imagery from that year that McGwire hit his record-breaking season. I think it was 70 home runs, if I remember right. But the opening of 61 actually gives a little bit of footage from the Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa battling it out year, when it kind of compares the similarities also between that season. By the way, I highly recommend Long Gone Summer. I'm not going to talk about it too much, just a little bit of this and that. This main focus of this video is 61, so we'll kind of keep it there. But this Billy Crystal directed movie centers around the breakout year that Roger Maris had and the sensational season when he hit 61 and the battle that him and Mickey Mantle were in trying to break the record that Babe Ruth held for many, many years. This movie takes a look at the relationship between Mickey Mantle. It takes a little bit of the Yankees history and the attitudes of Major League Baseball at the time surrounding this record. It's a really, really good movie, and it's also fairly historically accurate because Billy Crystal had some insight, and we'll go over that. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, a big focus of it is the personal relationship between Mantle and Maris. During the time that this took place, New York reporters were reporting that Mantle and Maris were feuding. They weren't getting along. Both were trying to fight over this record. But in reality, and as the movie kind of shows us, Maris and Mantle were actually really good friends. They started the M&M Corporation together. It's true. In the movie, they show them being roommates. They were roommates in real life during that season. There were other things. Like when Maris passed away, Mickey Mantle was actually one of the pallbearers at his funeral. They were really, really good friends. Not only does Billy Crystal give us some pretty good insight on what actually happened inside of the Yankees locker room and off the field with Maris and Mantle, but he also gives us a lot of insight from his own relationship with Mickey Mantle. Now, yes, in the movie, Mickey Mantle is portrayed as a not-so-good guy. I mean, you got a guy who's cheating on his wife, womanizing, drinking, going crazy, partying all the time. I mean, just living life, and pretty much that's accurate. And Billy Crystal knew these things about Mickey Mantle. So when Billy Crystal made this movie, he actually reached out to the Mantle family to make sure it was okay that they portray their father, their grandfather, so on and so forth, as this kind of person, the real-life Mickey Mantle. That way they can understand the kind of person that this character was. Some of the dialogue in this movie is actually direct quotes or things that people heard Mantle say, or something that was said to Billy Crystal. For instance, the line where Mantle says, It's a tough town not to have fun in. That's actually something that Billy Crystal heard Mickey Mantle say. And it was an accurate description of New York to Mickey Mantle. So there's a lot of good tidbits in there and things that you can enjoy from that and get a nice little understanding of who these characters are. The casting in this movie is also fantastic. I mean, I can't say enough about it. It's so good. In fact, Billy Crystal, when he saw Barry Pepper on Saving Private Ryan, said, "That's Roger Maris. That's the guy I want to play Roger Maris." And you can hear just a little bit of the comparison. This is one of Roger Maris' sons coming on the Yes Network, which is the affiliate for the New York Yankees, talking about the movie.
But that was a great portrayal of the 61 season. What Billy did with the cast was amazing, how he got all those guys that looked so similar to the players.
Was that eerie?
It's eerie, yeah.
Looking at Barry Pepper and Thomas Jane, and I don't know the guy who played Bob Serve off the top of my head.
I don't remember his name, but I went back and looked at pictures. Once I saw the movie, I went back and looked at some old pictures, and it was amazing how much he looked like Bob Serve, too.
It's terrifying how much those two look alike. I mean, you might think that maybe Barry Pepper's related in some way. I don't know. But also Thomas Jane has a pretty good comparison of Mickey Mantle, and a lot of the actors who are playing the other characters, Billy Crystal really liked their look or their feel for the characters like Yogi Berra, so on and so forth. This is such a historic Yankee team that he wanted to get it right. Some of the other things that I think are unique about this movie are the fact that the shots are a little bit different compared to other baseball movies. Now, in most baseball movies, you get the look of, oh, here's the hit. Oh, that ball's flying. Oh, and there's an outfielder going to catch the ball out in the outfield, and it's just over his head. Now, while this movie does use some of that to make a home run happen, Billy Crystal did something pretty unique, and he made CGI and effects work for him. He did a couple of shots that were extremely long, to where when Maris or Mantle would hit the ball, you could see it fly. I mean, just straight up fly on a straight line out into the upper deck in right field. It's fantastic. It's unique. Personally, I don't think I've ever seen a baseball movie use the same shot. If you have, please comment on it, because I'd love to see another way that this can be done. Billy Crystal was also a sucker for detail in his sets and his places that he was going to put this movie in. It is not filmed at Yankee Stadium. Even in 2000, Yankee Stadium didn't look enough like the 1961 Yankee Stadium that's being portrayed in the movie. Instead, he used Tiger Stadium in Detroit to build that whole Yankee Stadium atmosphere that was alive in the 60s. He said the stadium was the only one that really lived up to what the old stadium in the Bronx looked like. Those details just kind of export you back in time and give you this older baseball feel. And I really enjoy it, especially someone who is a sucker for the history of baseball. It's so lifelike, and it transforms you into a totally different world, a different time, and a different place. Something else that I think this movie does an outstanding job of is the acting and the exchanges between characters. Here's just one scene between Maris and Mantle. They're having a fight in this scene, talking about when Mickey brings a girl back to the apartment, which is against the rules at Maris's house.
We're gonna have to take a rain check on tonight.
Mickey.
I know. I'll call you.
How's the arm? You ought to go in early tomorrow. Let Gus have a look at it.
No, I'm all right. I'll be fine.
Oh, shit, Nicky. We're only 4 games up on Detroit. You got to take care of yourself.
All right already. If I need a caretaker, I'll move in with my mother. I know there's a lot of bullshit about this record.
I don't care about this stupid record, Mickey. And shove it up their ass for all I care.
Oh, come on. Give me a break. Why can't you just admit you want it too?
Oh, shit, man.
Come on, Christ. Have fun with it. Can't have a good time playing baseball, man. Something wrong with you.
Yeah, well, shit, that's easy for you to say, isn't it, Mick?
Oh, come on. Quit feeling so sorry for yourself, huh? I mean, hey, man, I know it's been rough on you, all that stuff. But you ain't exactly helping it too much. I mean, I told you how to handle him, guys. You don't want to listen.
You told me, yeah, you told me a lot of stuff about a lot of different things, and then you just go out and do whatever the hell you want, and nobody says shit about it to you.
Hey, don't get on my case just because everybody else is on yours. It's not my problem.
Right, it's my problem. My problem. You just go out and do whatever the hell you want. Mickey, you ever just stop and think? If you took better care of yourself, you wouldn't be getting hurt all the time. Did you see what you did out there today with only one arm? And tonight you're out screwing around. I mean, how can you do that? You're Mickey Mantle, for Christ's sake.
What's that supposed to mean, huh? What the fuck's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. Maybe you're the one that doesn't want it.
You think you know something about me? You don't know shit about me.
Yeah? Fine.
My dad died when he was 39. Hodgkin's. My grandfather, my uncle, same thing. None of them made it past the age of 45, all right? So I'm gonna live my life the way I want. Why don't you get off my back? Go call your wife. Go cry to her about it.
All right, then.
That's a very, very intense scene. There's a lot of good acting there. It's alive, and you just enjoy the duet that those two are putting on together. Thomas Jane and Barry Pepper. They're so alive. It goes in so well. And they bring it in not only in their exchange of dialogue, there's other things too. They're doing an outstanding job of mimicking the players that they are. Billy Crystal was such a sucker for detail on this movie, as I mentioned prior, that he was making sure that his actors were imitating the players that were alive in the 60s to make this work. If you take a look at some of the footage, you'll see the plates just kind of raking over the dirt in such a way, or the way that they're swinging their bat in such a temperament. Like, there's so much detail that Billy Crystal said that he wanted the actors, to understand that these players understood the exact level of depth from the spikes on their cleat to the ground, to the way that they swung a bat in a fluid motion. They wanted everything. Fun fact, Thomas Jane lied to Billy Crystal about his understanding of the sport, and Billy Crystal and others had to coach him up to get him caught up. I remember hearing that from the director's commentary. I'm sure there's more to the story, and I'm sure it's a fascinating one. But it's a really cool fact that I think needs to be brought up, is this actor lying to get this great role. I mean, there's so much that I can say about this movie. It's great. And I don't think I can jam-pack it all into one video. So why don't you go check it out? It's actually available for streaming right now on HBO Max, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere anytime soon because it was made by HBO as an HBO film. So definitely go check it out. I think it's a great movie. While you're at it, go check out Long Gone Summer. You can get a little bit more recent or more modern history, I guess you want to call it, in comparison. And you can also kind of compare how Sosa and McGuire did it compared to how Mantle and Maris did it when they were on their home run record-breaking chase. Until next time, please subscribe to the channel, comment, like this video, whatever, no pressure. And I'll check you out on Coffee With next time. Till then, play ball.